Samuel and Saul. Today in my Bible reading, I read about the coronation of King Saul. Saul started it all off very well. He truly was humble and brave. Yet, as he moved towards middle age, he became arrogant. He defied God's orders. He came to value only his own legacy. He, like Herod, attempted to kill God's anointed to retain what God had given him. Compare this to Samuel, who was the last judge of Israel, and a very good judge, faithful to God and spiritually aligned to God's will in all things. When the men of Israel demanded a king, he consulted the Lord and followed God's direction, anointing Saul. And he then supported Saul's reign until Saul disqualified himself and the time came to anoint David as king. Samuel was willing to give up the power of leadership and become the first in the line of prophets. He thus continued to be useful to God, even after he lost his original authority as a judge over Israel. He became God's representative to counsel and guide Israel spiritually to the end of his days. Saul sought to retain his power and thus found himself fighting against God. He was plagued by troubling spirits, haunted by jealousy and fears, and filled with bitterness and hatred. He became cruel and irrational, in the end, taking his own life. These two leaders present two different ways to live. One clung to power, and the other clung to God. One was useful to God for only a short time, the other was useful to the Lord for his entire life. What are we clinging to other than clinging to the Lord? Can we say, with John the Baptist, "He must become greater, and I must become less"?